Hello from Munich again, and yes, as we said before, we're the second part of our interview, and I have next to me Ryleigh Dettoni, who's the older sister of Grayson, also an American. Sure, welcome. And yeah, this is a really interesting interview because it's the same thing about sports. It's about culture. It's about adapting. And Ryleigh is going to be able to share some information of her experiences of living in America, living in Munich as a 12-year-old, and some of the differences with not only school but sport. Ryleigh, please tell everyone back home, what sport are you focusing on?
I'm focusing on volleyball right now. So.
Okay, volleyball. Now, as you guys may have remembered, were you born in San Diego?
No, I was born in Maryland.
You were born in Maryland, but you lived in San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay. And for those of you that don't know, I think it's fair to say that San Diego is pretty good at volleyball. And so it's a great state to play volleyball in. Now, unlike a soccer player who, American comes to Germany, it's like, oh my gosh, amazing. How is it for an American volleyball player coming to Germany?
I mean, mostly I would think it's the same. In Southern California, it's really high, like the volleyball is really, really high.
Okay.
And then here it's not as high up, like as competitive because of course football, soccer. But I don't think Americans really look up to Germans very much in volleyball.
Okay, so are you kind of considered, was it easier for you to get respect from your teammates when you came over from America as a volleyball player?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, because as a soccer player, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And that's what's interesting with the situation you're in. Now, I also know that you enjoy having some freedom here in Munich or in Germany. What do you mean by that?
Freedom, like what I mean by freedom is like, well, there are like all this transportation, like the tram, the S-Bahn, all these other things. And it's just, Munich is a really safe city, so you're trusted with all these other responsibilities, like you can go home by yourself, you can take the tram home. It's just, yeah, it's a lot more freedom. You have a lot more responsibility, but then a lot more freedom, so.
And you feel pretty safe here, yeah?
Yeah, I feel really safe.
So, I think it's fair to say in America, it's a lot of parents driving, riding the bike, bus, or the school bus. But here, like you just mentioned, there's the streetcar, right? So that must be pretty cool as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it's a lot different, but.
Okay. And lernst du auch Deutsch momentan? Ja, kannst du ein bisschen Deutsch?
Ja.
Ja? Ist es schwer oder einfach?
Es ist schwer.
Ist es schwer? Ja. Aber du lernst auch Französisch?
Yeah.
Oh, so she's also learning French. So for you Americans out there, English is not enough, right? So you're seeing how Ryleigh here is learning German, French, English, and this is kind of the norm. Yeah, this is the norm here. So, okay, so again, for the volleyball lovers, how is it different here at training? Do you see differences with technical, tactical, or is it more, I mean, yeah, what's different?
Maybe what I would think is different, well, it's kind of hard to say. I would think the biggest difference is sometimes at training they do more tactical, like warming up your arms and like getting your arms stronger and everything. So I think that's just really the only difference, maybe. I don't know.
And what I'm interested in, because of just being in love with being active, in America, are they still better at speed and agility and how to jump and stuff like this? Are you bringing that knowledge over here to your team, or are they also pretty well advanced?
I think they're also pretty well advanced because they do a lot of it during practice, but then in America you can also do like speed training. So yeah, I'm not quite sure actually.
Okay. Now, do you also have the chance to have a personal coach after practice here in Germany, or is that not common? Because in America, we know whether it doesn't matter if it's soccer or volleyball, whatever sport, it's common for kids to also have that individual training with another coach or something.
Yeah, usually in volleyball you could have like a private training or something with your coach, but here I would think it's not very common.
Right. Okay. Which we've talked about, but here with the clubs, they're called Vereins, yeah. Everything's pretty much for them. Where yes, there are club teams in America. However, the athletes there know that if they want to improve their health, speed, agility, you name it, most likely they're paying for that extra with coaches on the side. And here in Germany, it's more of a system that works with that. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm curious. You experienced school in America, right? I mean, East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
Now you're in Munich.
Mhm.
Can you tell the people back home what's the big difference in your day-to-day activities at school? What's one that really stands out, if anything?
Well, there is maybe something that's kind of like at my old school. It's like an honors class if you're really good at, for example, let's just say you're really good at English class, you could go to an honors class, which is usually in the same grade, like in the same grade boundary, or can also be with like 7th graders, like for a 6th grader, you could be with the 7th grader and 8th graders. And here they also have that, but it's called enrichment. And like for me, I'm in enrichment for science, and I'm with like 10th graders, 9th graders, 7th graders. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Part of what we do at JJRconsulting is we help high school kids or kids here in Germany go back, go abroad to America in this exchange program. And it's really interesting to see the difference in cultures and how people are brought up. And what we want to do is kind of narrow that gap. And stories like this help people back home understand that it's not that big of a jump. It's not that, it's possible to do these things that the Dettoni family is doing right now. And that's kind of what we want to share with everyone back home through the eyes and experiences of these young adults, right? I mean, as a 12-year-old, can you imagine? I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Ryleigh, do you have any questions for anyone back in America, or is there something that, is on your mind?
I'm not really sure. I don't think so at the moment.
All right. Well, if you guys have any more questions for us here, please feel free and email those in or what have you. Again, this is all about funding one's freedom. What does freedom mean? Freedom is actually from within, and by learning what people are doing, succeeding, also learning that they also have difficulties in life, and we work together, we can get through that. And the stronger we are within, the more chances that we have in life. And that's what this is all about, these series of interviews with kids, young adults doing great things, and parents that are making that happen. So please stay tuned for future interviews, but for right now, wishing you a great day here from Munich.